Welcome. We have a packed 30 minutes ahead of us, so I'll hope to be able to answer your question, what is Autodesk Forma? So for the sake of time, let's get into it. My name is Arne. I hold a master's degree in urban design and architecture. And as an architect, I'm really excited to show you what Forma can help you with. At Autodesk, my focus is on creating content that raises awareness of Forma, as well as developing learning materials to help you easily get started with our software. So feel free to ask us questions in the forum after you've seen this webinar, and you can access it through the QR code or through the link, and we'll also show the webinar or upload the webinar on YouTube within a few days. So feel free to share this recording with your colleagues. All right, without further ado, let's kick things off by sharing a quick introduction to what Forma is all about. And no better way to do that through our short 2-minute video to get us started.
Imagine having the information, tools, and context you need to make the right decisions in the planning phase. Welcome to Autodesk Forma. Autodesk Forma is a cloud software that offers powerful yet easy-to-use tools for architects and designers working in pre-design and schematic design. With Forma running in your browser, you can quickly set up a geolocated site and access real-world contextual data, enabling you and your team to model informed 3D designs in minutes. Create and explore a multitude of concepts by using intuitive drawing tools. Make adjustments, add floor plans, and get instant area metrics. With Forma, you can compare your design's sustainability and living qualities with ease. Get AI-powered estimates on the embodied carbon of your proposal, or assess outdoor conditions with a range of real-time environmental impact analyses, including daylight, wind, noise, and more. Record your findings, create presentations, and collaborate with your team and stakeholders, all within Forma. Or take your planning even further by using Forma's growing library of extensions. Integrate Forma into your existing workflows with connections to Revit, Rhino, or Dynamo. Generate AI-powered visualizations. Explore your project with augmented reality, and much more. Forma does all of this to help you make the right decisions from day one. Successful projects start with Autodesk Forma. Get started today at autodesk.com/forma.
Great. Now that you got the basic idea what Forma is all about, let's dive into why it exists and how it can help you. So right now, Forma offers tools for the planning phase, but in the future, it will become the industry cloud for architecture, engineering, construction, and operations. Forma is being designed to bridge software processes and teams across the entire AEC ecosystem, and will unify the BIM workflow across the teams that plan, design, build, and operate buildings, water, transportation, and industrial assets. So as you can see in this illustration, it starts small now and will grow into this one big platform that will be your one-stop shop. At the start of a new project, especially during the pre-design phase, the possibilities can feel endless. Architects and planners need to make decisions, often without sufficient data. So these early choices can have a lasting impact on the detailed design, the construction, and even the building's operational outcomes. So Forma is currently offering the early phase of this project. However, several of our customers, or many of our customers, find it valuable to import their advanced models for quick analysis and decision support, even if the project is well established, it's been years in the works, and you have it in Revit or other softwares. In pre-design, you know this. You have so many things that you need to remember. The needs and constraints are essential for creating great, successful projects. You must consider owner and client needs, zoning rules, environmental factors, financial aspects, just to name a few. And given the tight deadline, making informed decisions requires more than just trial and error. architects often struggle with a lack of crucial information in this early phase. On top of that, the stakes of those early stage decisions are high and often not given enough time to investigate properly. And according to Skanska, more than 50% of residential projects' value creation can be realized in the early stage design phase. Key project decisions made at this point, such as massing and layout, have lasting consequences. As the design progresses into later phases of the project, those fundamental design choices become hard or even impossible to change with current tooling. So this is where Autodesk Forma can help you and your team. Forma seeks to move your key design decisions earlier in this design process, because it's here you can become aware and design your way out of future challenges. So let's dig a little bit deeper into how we do this. We do this by providing you with a fast setup process of geolocated project and easy ordering of contextual data. Then we help you with purpose-built tools to create early-stage design buildings. And then we add real-time impact analysis on top of that. So you can analyze its performance with critical early-stage analyses. So there's no need to be an expert in SketchUp, Sapphira, or Grasshopper, or other expert tooling. It's just a click of a button and you have several analyses right out of the gate. And lastly, Forma can slide right into your workflow by connections to Revit or Rhino, as we'll showcase later on, and Dynamo. And if you're good in Grasshopper and Dynamo or even scripting, you can even extend the capabilities of what Forma can do for you through our open APIs. So to summarize, Autodesk Forma is a cloud software that offers powerful yet easy to use AI-assisted tools to architects and designers working in pre-design and schematic design. Forma is a tool that runs in your Chrome browser and is always up to date with the latest version. So it means you don't need to have this super computer. You can just run it off a normal laptop because the actual action is happening in the cloud. So you do need an internet connection. This means you'll see new features, analysis, and extensions being added constantly. So to give you an idea, last year we added 150 product updates. So it's a growing software. And you just don't have to take our word for it. Our customers are already experiencing these great improvements. So if we take Cube3, a mid-sized architecture, interiors, and planning firm that has offices across the US, they managed to save over 50% of their time inside the conceptual phase, which is quite a lot. Or we can see a quote here from Melissa Jorg from ABH Architects, that Forma changes everything. For planners and designers, Forma capabilities are a powerful extension of the creative process. It's a digital canvas where solutions can be swiftly devised. In fact, MBH Architects recently leveraged Forma to produce an initial design package for a large multifamily housing project. And they were able to produce the package in just 6 hours, a process that would typically take them 2 weeks. So let's do one more. Firms like Scott Shields Architects, it's a small architectural firm in the States, enhanced efficiency and sustainability in their operations, allowing them to tackle larger projects with greater confidence. And they adopted Forma and they were enabled to optimize their resources and expand its project capabilities significantly. And the Revit, specifically the Revit integration, streamlined their workflow, saving valuable time and reducing manual processes. So overall, Forma empowered these firms to achieve mighty ambitions by maximizing their potential and ultimately winning bigger projects, which was crucial for them. So before I demo Forma, let's explain how you can access the software. So if you already have an AEC Collection license, you're in good luck because it's already included in your software package. So you can simply head on to AUM, or Autodesk User Management System, or you can go onto our product page. There's a link there as well, and you can start creating right away. If you don't, then there's also a 30-day free trial access that you can access through our product page. It gives you the full version, so it's everything. If you have tried the 30-day and you like it, then it's also possible to buy a standalone Forma license. And you can get that from going into the product page and then clicking on the See Pricing button, and you can follow our steps from there. And lastly, if you're a student or an educator, it's a great opportunity for you because you can get a license through the Autodesk Education program at no extra cost. So you can just head over to autodesk.com/education and choose either the Construction Cloud or the Forma as your product. And you just have to go through a short confirmation process that you're a student, and then you have a yearly license that can easily be renewed next year. All right, we'll come to the demo part. This will be a fast-paced demo, so don't try to follow what I'm doing, but rather try and understand and see for yourself that it's quick to get up and running, also connected to Rhino, and to get the analysis going, and even create the presentation in the end. So the important part is to see that it is possible and how fast it is. And hopefully with a little bit of training, you'll be able to do exactly the same thing for your early stage proposals and competitions. So feel free to continue asking questions if you see something here in the forum, and I'll try and get back to you. So we're going to create a project next to a power plant in London. So let's dive right in. On Forma, we're going to create a site create a site, and we're going to go ahead and type in the address. It will pop up here automatically, but you can also scroll in if you want to. The rectangle or the square you see here is the size of the project, and you can zoom in and out to make that smaller or bigger. And the first part is that we're loading contextual data. So we're fetching the terrain and we're setting up the whole project, and now we're allowing you to order data for that particular area. So in this case, only OpenStreetMap buildings were available to this site, but depending on your region, you might have more options to go with as well. So I'm just adding parcels here as well so that I can create a site limit in a quite nice way. So this is the Forma UI of the site, and very quickly you'll see that we have a full working model, and we can go ahead and start doing. So I'm going to go ahead and create a site limit based on the property boundaries we added, and I'm going to use the property boundaries that we already had. And similar to Rhino, you can click space to redo the last command that you had. And I'm going to just rename this to existing proposal, just so that we have kind of a baseline before we go ahead and add more information. Let's see, I'm just gonna hide a few things here, and all right. So I already have a Rhino model with a little bit more information. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a new proposal that are ready to link. But if you don't have the connection to Rhino, you can go into the extension area and you can download it from there. So how the connection works is that you collect the URL address of that proposal, and you go into Rhino and you run Forma. So just type in Forma, it will open up, and let's copy in the the URL, and we're going to load site data. So this is going to probably take around 10-20 seconds, but Rhino doesn't really work well with coordinate systems. So if your model is somewhere in the world or close to zero, then we're using reference object as and that you can move around, and that will ultimately kind of change the connection or the placement of the Forma model inside Rhino and vice versa. So you'll see here right about maybe two, 3 more seconds. There we go. That I'm going to select the Forma layer site limit, and you see that it doesn't line up currently. So I'm going to just move it, just normal move and rotate commands, so that it matches my site limit in the Rhino file. And once that it does that, we can then use it to send information back and forth in the correct placement. So I have more context and better context here, I feel. So I'm going to go ahead and add that context and the proposal and send that to Forma. So I'll just select from the layers here and click Send Layers to Forma. And once that spinning wheel stops, then it's complete, and we can go into Forma and just refresh. And give it a sec, and then suddenly you'll see that we have now the Forma model with the Rhino model in geometry inside. And I'm going to spend a little time here cleaning up so that we have not duplicated buildings on around where I had better data. So I'm going to work quite a lot with what is called a base and the proposal. So what we're looking at right now is what is currently in the proposal, but I'm going to move the context over to the base. So I'm going into the base here. Think of it as the context for your proposal that is similar for every proposal that you're creating. So I'm just deleting the buildings I had from OpenStreetMap, and then I'll move those buildings over afterwards. And then it's just a little delete job, and then we should be good here. So having a base and a proposal allows us to compare apples to apples, which is very important. So now I'm just going to go ahead and select all of my buildings, and I'm going to deselect the proposal that I also have that are detailed from Rhino. And I'm simply right click, move to base. And I'll just need to show it here. And you'll see this is what I'm left with. Ooh, I forgot the balconies and the balustrades. So I'm just going to move that back. All right, now we have a context. I'm going to go ahead and run the sun hours and daylight potential analysis for this so that it runs while we're building the other proposal. But in general, it's this easy when it comes to running an analysis. You pick the one you want. There might be a very short setup thing, just selecting the dates and then run analysis. So I want to create a new proposal so that I have something to compare it with, so I have something to compare the Rhino model with. So I'm just using here a line tool or a line building tool. Right now I'm just using a center line, but you could also use a line for either kind of the inner facade or the outer facade as well to use that. And with line buildings, which is an automation, you have a little bit more extra things with it. You can have sections, you can change the width and height, and you can pick where those sections are aligned. And I'm just going to add a basic building here as well. That's what we call buildings that don't kind of have an automation to it. And here we have our first proposal, but I want to make it a little bit more aligned with the context, and I'll just make it a little wider and I'll add one more floor. So I'm gonna make it look a little bit more kind of connected to the place I'm building. So I'm gonna open the building in 3D Sketch, which works similar to SketchUp in the sense that it works with faces, and you can push, pull, and create lines and such. But it's very powerful in its smartness. So for this case, I'm just going to pull it back a little bit more. And as you can see, it's quite responsive, and it's very good at just making these buildings look, you can show your intention quite a lot faster. I'm going to do the same thing here, but I'm also going to add a balcony, or kind of a balcony area, rooftop. So let's just make a cuboid in here, and I'm going to just tab to have a little bit more control, and let's pull that down. And you can see from the prompts that our analysis are finished already, but I'm just going to finish this proposal up and then and run some analysis on this one as well. So again, same thing. What's quite nice here is that 3D Sketch is really good at mitering. So it miters the edges for what you're doing, which makes the process very fast and intuitive. I'm gonna do the same thing here with push-pull, just to give you another example. So just add that up 5 meters, and I'm gonna push it in, and there you have a mitered edge. So, and then we're gonna go ahead and run the same analyses, so the daylight potential and the sun hours. And you'll see here that I've pre-added in 4 dates that I can, that the software remembers, so that I don't have to kind of add the same things again and again. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to add a few camera angles. So these can be used just so that you always have the same angles, but it can also be used for creating presentations and using in inside compare, and we'll do both later on. So I'll just add a top view here as well. And let's go ahead and compare the two proposals that we have. So you just, sorry, let's invite members first. So you can either type in here, or you can simply copy paste directly from an Excel sheet of users, or from Outlook. So you don't have to do one by one, and you can pick their the status or the access rights that you want them, either a collaborate or a view. You can send them an invite link instead of an email, or you can push an email their way. So let's compare. You pick 2 proposals or more, and then click compare. That will open the 2 proposals that we've selected in a view, or 2 viewports that are synced. So when we move side to side, you'll see that they're synced. And we can go ahead and drag and drop the final or finished analyses. And here we go. So, and we do have, we're able to create highlights for you from the stats, because we understand that stats can be a little bit tricky to see. And you can tweak what you want those highlights to show you as well. For now, I'm going to hide the panels and trim the results down to only showing areas with 4 hours or less sunlight. So you'll see the left proposal is performing better than the right one at the moment. And you can even go in and point or inspect specific points. You can choose the time intervals, the dates that you want to see. You can you don't have to do two different proposals. You can do the same proposal with different analyses side by side. You can split this whole view up in 4 if you want. You have flexibility. So Forma also has what is called a Forma board. It's a whiteboard tool where we can create presentations or collaborate. So similar to Miro, it's just that this is connected straight into Forma with your data available. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the data that we created now for both of the proposals. The board has the same functionality as you would expect in terms of aligning functions, etc. But we're also able to pick what stats do you want to be shown for each widget, and you can also change the sizes and camera angles that will change as well. But for the area metrics, you also can pick what stats you want to be able to see or to show. So I'm just going to align these through some shortcuts for speed. There we go. And this whiteboarding tool has what you expect. You can even connect your Revit model and get your sheets directly from inside the Revit model to be displayed in here. So it's to enhance that collaboration feature and create presentations just straight out of the box. Now that we've set it up, since I added Ben earlier, we can also tag him here and he'll get an email about progress or comment if you need to discuss something or you need a second pair of eyes. And this goes down so you can kind of keep commenting like you would normally. And we can create presentations. So I'm just going to use those frames as my slides. You can rename them, you can change them, but you have them ready and you can click back and forth from the presentations already. And that was the demo. Well, that was fast-paced. I hope you remembered to only look at the kind of overall and get the impression of what I'm trying to do. But in those 15 minutes that we just went through, I managed to create a project. I added data. I imported the data, the additional and detailed data that I had from Rhino. I analyzed it, compared it with, or created a new proposal as well, analyzed it, and created a presentation. So although it probably won't be this quick for you for the first time, but it shows the speed that is available to you of making these designs and like quick and iterative, and you can work quite fast here. So I understand that you might have questions following the demo that I just completed. So please, again, feel free to ask questions in the forum. You can get it through this QR code or the link I showed you earlier. And I hope that you liked me presenting to you. So thank you so much. I definitely appreciated your participation, and I hope to see you inside the product. Have a great day.